Everyone has expectations, whether or not they think they do. How do I know? Just don't meet their expectations. The hurt, the disappointment that they are all expressing is a function of the fact that they felt like you didn't meet their expectations. Welcome back to a new video. I'm very excited to be here. Krymkat share with you love, light, wisdom that will help you build a beautiful, thriving, and healthy relationship. I'm very excited to be back. And I'm sorry again, my microphone has been MIA for the past few videos, and I really do apologize, and I know that very soon I'm going to be back with it. I have to film separate at intervals, so this time around I forgot it somewhere but then it will be back subsequently. Today we're talking about expectations, and they are a big deal. Expectations are those things that we have in our hearts of what we believe we should experience when we put ourselves into a relationship. So what you think you should experience when you start dating a person, what you think you should experience when you get into a relationship. Everybody has expectations. Sometimes people say they don't have expectations, but it's a lie. It's a lie, because when their expectations are not met, that disappointment, that frustration that they begin to express is a function of the fact that they indeed did have expectations, you see. So everybody has expectations. How then can we deal with expectations in a way that is healthy for us, in a way that is progressive, and in a way that does not break people? Number one, define and understand your own expectations, because I feel like a lot of people cannot articulate their expectations. They cannot say, this is what I expect from your partner, this is what I expect from you as a girlfriend, this is what I expect from you as a boyfriend, and that is the beginning of trouble. The very first thing with expectations, that you need to be able to define your own expectations. You need to be able to understand what your expectations are and the foundation of your expectations. Do you have these expectations based off of what you have seen online, what you've seen in other people's relationships, what you've seen in other people's lives, or you have these expectations based on what you have envisioned for your own life, where you want to go in life, how you want to do your own life? So you need to understand, where are my expectations coming from? What's funding this kind of expectations that I do have, you see? So that's the very first thing in dealing with expectations. Have to address the elephant in the room, and that's to have vulnerable conversations. I think when you have gotten to that point where you can articulate your own expectations, now sitting down to have the conversations in a way that you do not compromise your values, you do not compromise your expectations, you do not just tone down what you want to ask for or what you want to bring to the negotiation table, is now a different kind of skill. And this is very, very common with women. You can say, oh, this is what I want, this is what I expect. But sometimes some women, when they get to that place to have that conversation, to be vulnerable and say, this is what I expect from you, this is what I need in a relationship, they start to back off. So many women are not courageous enough to say, this is what I want, this is what I believe in, and this is what I'm standing for. If you can't bring this to the table, I'm out. And this even shows in their work lives and in their relationships at work, and in their ability to negotiate better opportunities for themselves. But that's not what we're getting into. But you need to be able to say what you want. You need to be able to have conversations and say, this is what I want, this is what I expect, and this is what I would have you do. You see, it's a very similar conversation to boundaries, and I think we're going to get to have that conversation soon as well. But you need to have that conversation and be very clear about the expectations. The other thing I'd have to say about this is that it is always better to start at the beginning. See, don't start bringing up expectations 3 months into the relationship. I know. It sounds like, but I didn't know, I didn't. It's better to start off with expectations and let your partner know that at intervals you might grow, because life is an ever-changing season, an ever-rolling stream. So you might grow into a different season where you have different kind of needs, and that will now shape the kind of expectations that you have. But then you need to be able to communicate with your partner from the beginning and let them know, what do you want in a relationship? What do you want in a partner? When you say you want to date, what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for a somebody to give you succor from all of your life's troubles? Are you looking for somebody who is going to pamper you? Are you looking for, what exactly are you looking for? You need to be able to articulate it from the very beginning. So start every relationship with a conversation about expectations and boundaries, really. Not today, we're not talking about boundaries. So start talking about what you expect from your partner. It's very important, because you cannot just go into a relationship and your partner is not telling you this is what you expect and you're like, I don't do that in a relationship. But you didn't have that conversation from the beginning. So it's very important to have conversations from the beginning about what you expect and what your partner expects, and to be able to come to common ground on what you can deliver as regards their expectations. And as I said earlier, life is changing all the time. We're in different seasons. If you were starting your relationship when you were probably a student, the needs and expectations you had of your partner kind of change when you are no longer a student and maybe you're working, you're living in another city. Your expectations are very different, right? Because your seasons have changed. So that's how it is, and you need to be able to have those conversations at intervals to discuss what your expectations currently are, if your partner is meeting your already established expectations, and how to move forward. One thing I want to say is that expectations are important. See, they are necessary. Don't be in a relationship where your partner is saying, I don't have any expectations. It is not even healthy to be in a relationship where you don't have an expectation. That's the first thing I want to tell you. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to be in a situation where you don't have an expectation at all. You don't have an expectation of what your partner should give or what you should receive. It doesn't make sense. So it's very important that you have an expectation. So it helps your relationship to be healthy. It helps your relationship to have direction. It helps your relationship to have some flesh, or some flesh to the bones. Yeah. So if you know what to expect and what you are giving your partner, it gives it a sense of direction, especially for people who are very organized in the way they live their lives. So having an expectation is a sign of a healthy relationship. I want to make sure you have the right expectations of your partner and they have the right expectations of you as well. In summary, as we've talked about having expectations, it's very important to, number one, define them, and do so early on at the start of the relationship. You don't want to wait till you're 6 months in and you're dissatisfied and then you start to complain about expectations, and then your partner is having conversations about the fact that they didn't bargain for what you think are your own expectations. So you need to define your expectations and define the commitments your partner is willing to make right to you in the context of your relationship. Expectations don't have to be narrowed down to your current relationship. You can have your expectations that meet where you want to go and what you want to achieve. And so if you're able to have expectations in that context that are moving towards the direction of your desired future, is actually okay as well. So you don't only have to have an expectation that fits and can only be sustained in this current context of your life. And what I mean is that your partner to show up for you. If you are going to require support, you see, as an expectation, you want that as you journey through life in different changing seasons of your career, probably the work that you do, you want to enjoy that support from your partner. It's not an expectation you don't have to communicate. You can communicate it early on, and while you're still a student and you don't have to do so much, you see, to support you, and emotionally, mentally, and just psychologically. You can tell them, oh, you really love this kind of support. And even when you find yourself in that new season or that phase of your life, or the kind of stage you want to create or you want to live in, be very, very intentional about articulating your own expectations and then communicating them. This will help in dealing with any problems as regards expectations. I do not think expectations are a problem. Everybody should have expectations. The problem is when you do not articulate them and you cannot communicate them clearly to your partner. It's very important to have these conversations and have it early on. I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. What are your expectations? What are expectations that you feel like are unrealistic? And how have you navigated the conversation of expectations in your relationship? I'm looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. Please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel so that you can be aware whenever I post. You want to put on the notification bell when you subscribe, so that whenever a new video goes up, which is every Saturday really, you can get notified. I have shorts going up within the week as well, so you can always check back, and if you're subscribed on the channel, they would always appear on your feed. It's me leaving you with love and light. So I see you on the next one.